Hi, I had a video planned for this week, but while editing, I realized there was an audio issue, so I had to scrap that video, which is why I decided to just make this video instead, where I'll introduce myself properly to you lovely people. So I have multiple things I want to talk about. Who is Ashen? How did I get into gaming? Why did I become a VTuber? Weight loss, plans for the future. So my name is Ashen, and I was born on the 27th of May 2000, which makes me 26 years old. Life wasn't always kind while growing up, as most of my early memories in life are bad ones. Growing up, I sometimes found it easy to make friends, but later on I realized that most of them never really cared about me, which is what started my social anxiety. At some point, I stopped going to school. I was around 14 years old at the time. A year later, at 15 years old, I was taken by child services and put into a home for troubled youth. I stayed in that home for 6 months, and I have a few stories about my time there, but that's for another time. After I left the youth home, I started living with my family again, and things were still pretty hard. We moved from place to place. Sometimes we would move 3 months after having moved in. When I say that times were difficult, they really were. At some point, I learned that I'm not allowed to do physical work due to medical reasons, which is why I eventually got put on disability. On paper, I am disabled, mainly due to me having had a back injury when I was 12 years old. Eventually, life took a better turn, and now we are here. I first got into gaming when I was 5 years old. It was my brother's 16th birthday when my aunt, uncle, and cousins came over. One cousin, who was slightly younger than me, had this pink Game Boy Advance, and she gave it to me. She said I could have it because she didn't like it. The game that came with it was Pokemon Red, and I absolutely loved it. I remember playing it almost every day. For a long time, that Game Boy was my only source of playing games, but as I grew older, I started getting more consoles. Of course, they were all bought used, but hey, at least I was able to play with my friends. I did have eventually. The moment I turned 17, however, I started putting money away to save up for if a game, console, or any other piece of media that I enjoyed released. At some point, I managed to buy 3 PS5s, one for myself, one for my brother, and one for my parents, who both enjoy racing games. I'm very glad that I'm in a position now where I'm able to do that, albeit not all the time. The main reason for me choosing to become a VTuber is the fact that I never had enough confidence to be myself while showing what I look like. But I have to say that after becoming a VTuber, I've grown more confident in being on camera and just being myself in general. Though there are still parts of myself that I don't show to anyone, which I do eventually want to be more open about as well. This is a topic that is still difficult for me to talk about, especially since I've struggled with my weight for most of my life. Ever since I was about 6 years old, I had been overweight and I never really cared. But only about 2 years ago, things really changed when I started hating myself for being that way. It took me until a few months ago, however, to really take the first step and lose weight. In 3 months' time, I've gone from 151 kilos to 138 kilos, which is a loss of 13 kilos. I've had some people say that it's only a small amount, but honestly, I don't really care. I'm already happy that I lost this much. My ultimate goal is 80 kilos, so I still have a long way to go. So I don't really have any plans for myself except visiting Japan at some point in my life and to get fully tattooed because I absolutely love tattoos. Plans for my channel, however, I do have. For the near future, I already have some things in the making. A Pokemon series that spans across all regions. I eventually want to stream more, which will probably start when GTA 6 releases. And I eventually want to collab with people. However, my anxiety still tells me that people don't really like me, so I struggle to send other creators messages. And lastly, I want to make reaction content as well, but that's where I need your help as I want to react to what you, the viewer, wants to see. As for way off in the future, it is not really a plan, but mostly a dream. It is to reach 100,000 subscribers. But I know that may never happen, so that's why I classify it as a dream. I have to thank you all. Your support has been amazing lately. I have had 2 shorts reach over 1,000 views, which is just crazy to me. In my own eyes, I am not entertaining, but you people still watch my content, and honestly, that means the world to me. I may not be funny, smart, or the best at playing games, but I will do my best to grow and become a creator that you can be proud of. Thank you for watching.